Okay, folks, I'm in Paris, on the streets of Paris, and I am with a fellow Nigerian who I found here who recently moved down to France. And she has decided that she's going to share information about moving to France. So I decided to come host and talk to her and get information for you.
Attention passengers, we've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.
I am your one and only Wakawaka Doctor, and always bring you the best gist when it comes to travel and migration. You know how we do it, right? We share information that has to do with traveling, living, working, and moving abroad, the whole shebang. Okay, so we're going to go straight to it. We're going to talk about moving to France. First of all, introduce yourself to people. Tell them where you're from, where we are right now, and how long you've been here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eshat. This is Chateau d'Eau. It's an area in France, and I moved here in 2023. I'm a student, a master's student of corporate management in Université de Lorraine.
Université de Lorraine.
Oui.
Lorraine. Tu parles français?
Un peu.
Okay,
Oui.
she's speaking a bit. So 2 years, how did you hear about the option of France? How did you hear about it?
Okay, I would say first I was looking for the cheapest universities available. Then I came across this agency on Instagram, Travel Getter, and I decided to try them out. You can actually do it on your own, but I picked an agency because at that time I was working and I was trying to complete my professional. I'm chartered now, but but then I didn't have extra time to search for schools and all of that, and they did for me the search for my school and housing and everything. So all I did was just come here.
Wow, fantastic. So what documents did you need to submit to make the application to the university? What documents did you use?
My CV, showing that I'm still working because I had to show that I in current employment and my course. And because my initial course of study was different from where I was working at the time,
Okay.
I had to use that I have been working for 5 years to show that I need to be in the management. Okay. At that point, I was in a management position.
Okay.
What else? My CV, a recommendation from my boss.
How many recommendation letters do you? Two recommendations.
One from my boss. The second one I got from the then CMD of University of Calabar Teaching Hospital.
Okay.
So I had 2 recommendations and my
what about your transcripts?
Transcript, yes, for the school, yes, my transcripts.
Okay.
And
of course your passport.
My passport. Yes.
Okay. And how long did the whole process take?
Because I was not so involved in it, I would say 4 months, 3 months. I don't know. I contacted them. I sent them my documents. They sent me visa application and all of that. But if I had to do it myself, probably 6 months, I think.
6 months.
I think.
Now, the purpose of this video is for you to see that real life people, there are videos about moving to France on my YouTube channel. You can go on YouTube and just search Wakawaka Doctor France. You would see several videos like this that I've done and made for you that states the universities, the process step by step and how to do it. But today I'm bringing you a Nigerian who made the move 2 years ago. Talk to us. How is working? Do you work? Can you work? How many hours in a week? What's the job profile like it?
There is work, especially in Paris, and language is not really a problem because most Parisians speak English. As far as they're willing to learn, it's not a problem. And then you can work 20 hours, legally 20 hours, but there are some stores or hotels who let you work for longer and they will declare it. It's not a back-ended payment or anything like that. They will declare it, but legally you're allowed to work just 20 hours. I do a lot more because I don't work when school is in session. So even if I work, say, 6 months in a year, I can work over 7 hours a day because it's calculated per year. It's not,
okay,
they don't check it
per week.
So because when I'm in school, I don't work. When I'm on holidays or there is a break, I come out to work and I can work for as long as I want. It does not affect the total at the end of the year.
Okay. Now talk to us. Aside from University of Lorraine, do you have friends in other universities across that are Blacks, Africans in several universities?
Yes, I have. My roommate is in Paris American Graduate University. Then there is, I know someone who was at Critel. Then there is Cité University.
Paris Cité.
Yes, Paris
I
Cité.
visited there today.
Oh,
I went there this morning. Yeah.
nice, right?
Nah, yeah, it's very big. It's very nice. I think opposite it as well, there's one they
This is
call
what?
Sorbonne.
How could I forget that? Yes.
Sorbonne University. Yeah, that was also very good. Would you encourage more Nigerians to come?
Truthfully, I wouldn't say encourage, but if it's on your path already, I would say yes. But I wouldn't say come to France.
Come to France.
Yes,
yeah.
this, that.
So it means that you have to really ask yourself, why are you moving?
Yes.
And if France is one of the options,
Yes.
then
Yes.
Okay.
Like, then take your time. For me, the language was a problem. I did 3 months language school in Nigeria before coming here. But I promise you, it's not the same. Like, what I was taught back in Nigeria, I'm not using them because I don't know what they were teaching me.
But you've been speaking. I mean, you've been speaking.
I have learned them here.
Je n'ai pas, c'est bon. Vous parlez, s'il vous plaît.
Oui. Je parle, mais je parle un peu.
Okay.
Je parle, mais j'ai compris.
Okay.
But you don't have to open to learning here.
Okay. So quickly, before I tell you the gist of the day, I want you to share this video. Make sure you like, make sure you give it a thumbs up, make sure you just share to as many friends as possible. I also want to tell you that there is a masterclass that I created just for you. A masterclass that you can buy that is very affordable, that will give you opportunities. You're in tech, you're looking for scholarships, you're looking for how to apply to jobs, you're an engineer, you're a teacher, you're a lawyer, you're in healthcare, you're in tech, you're looking to move to the United States for free. I got everything covered. You've applied for jobs, but they're not calling you. This masterclass has everything all. And I've created a special link in the description box of this video for you to be able to get that masterclass, okay? So go to the link and get the masterclass. Let's talk about standard of living. How is rent? You were saying something to me yesterday about Rue de 13, 14. So
Yes.
how is rent like? And is Paris expensive compared to other parts of France?
Yes. Paris. People confuse Ile-de-France as Paris. It's like confusing Ikeja as Lagos.
Lagos,
I think
okay.
that's the closest I can make. So Paris is expensive. But all the surrounding boulevards or Bohu are not as expensive. I live in the 13th and my rent is 1,000 euros.
13th arrondissement.
Wait. Which is affordable because I have a roommate and it's fine. But if you want to live in the big places, the bush places, the 16th, the 18th, it's a lot more expensive. There is no need for that. There are cheaper places like where we are right now in Chateau, and it's a lot cheaper than there. It's just little tweaks here and there, but what you want. So I think it's affordable if you have good, at least a job. I won't say a good job.
Okay.
First, you have a job that pays you above 1,000 euros. You can rent a good place. Yes. And
now, finally, before you go, proof of funds. When you are applying for visa, how much did you put in your bank account for visa?
Well, I used my salary account, so I'm not sure I'm the right person to ask.
Yeah, but tell us, how much did you have in your bank account?
As at 2023, I had about 6 million naira.
6 million. 6 million.
I don't know if it's different, and I didn't send it with the thought of they did this cut off. I just sent it. I'm working. This is my salary account.
Okay.
And that's that.
And that was it. 6 million naira. So let's just say now, 2023, 2025, you have like
maybe
10 million. You should be fine. You should be fine. Okay.
Just that, and then a letter from the manager who is my boss.
Okay.
That's yes, this account has been existing since she started working here, blah blah blah. And that was
so on a scale of 1 to 10, tell us your experience.
crazy.
Yeah. It's been less than 2 years.
Yes, less than 2 years.
Okay.
But I think I've experienced it all. Like I went from being very sad when I first came to being hyper happy and then sad again.
And now are you happy or in between or sad?
Now I can be happy based on the situation. Like there's no blanket sadness anymore. Like something good happens today, I'm happy today. Something bad happens tomorrow, I'm sad tomorrow. But I know that I will be happy again.
Again.
It's not so bad anymore.
There you go, guys. So if you're interested in the step-by-step process of how to move to France, all you need to do is check my YouTube videos, or you just search on YouTube Wakawaka Doctor France, and you would see 2-3 videos that I've made about moving to France as well. And I hope that this has helped you. This would encourage you to do your own research and hopefully make that move if France fits your bill. Thank you very much.
All right, when you come, look for me. Let's
Look for her. Look for her. Yeah, tell them your name again.
My name is Eshet. I'm on Twitter as I choose my own poison.
Yeah.
So you can follow me.
On Twitter, says I choose my own poison. So you can send her a
Why
DM.
like my poison.
You can send her a DM, and of course, she'll be willing to help you with as much information as she can. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
C'est bon.
Oui, c'est bon.
All right, folks. I've got someone else who lives in Paris. He's Nigerian, resides in Paris, moved to France a while back, and he wants to share his experience with us. I was actually supposed to meet up with him, but because of distance and time, that could not happen. So that's why I'm in the car right now recording this. But all the same, we'll get to the information that he has to share. Do you want to share your details, your name, where you are, what you do, so that people in the audience who are listening can know exactly who you are, where you are, and what you're doing at the moment?
Of course, of course. So my name is Orushek Bimi Amora. I'm based in Paris. I've been here for over a decade. So I came here in 2014. I came as a student, and so I did my undergrad, master's, started my business, and I also work in cybersecurity.
So you have a business in Paris?
Of course, no.
Nah.
As a Nigerian, you know, if you carry it out now.
Nice one.
I
want to put you on the spot. I want to put you on the spot and ask you, any regrets moving to France?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. For me, no. But my case is quite particular because my parents did a good job in planning. So ever since my sister and I were in kindergarten, they put us in the French school in Lagos, which is called the Lycée Français Louis Pasteur. And because of that, I did my I did the French version of the WAEC, which is called the Baccalaureate. And so we had a partnership with a university in Bordeaux here in France. But I didn't go to University of Bordeaux. I went to the south of France, University of Nice, Côte d'Azur. And so it wasn't really difficult. Once I got the baccalaureate, I had the possibility to go anywhere in the world. If I wanted to go to the UK, I would have had to do the IELTS, which I did. But eventually I chose to come to Paris. It was quite fast, quite smooth. At the time, the tuition fee, I remember my house rent per month was higher than the tuition fee per year. Yeah, so the tuition fee was around 300 euros for the whole year. And my house rent was around 550 euros per month.
There's still some schools who charge that low. Like I visited Sorbonne University in Paris. Is that how to pronounce it? Sorbonne University.
Yes, Sorbonne.
They have some courses that are like 500, 600 euros. And there's one again, École Supérieure, something like that.
You're pronouncing it very well.
So yeah, they still have, I know that prices have gone up in terms of tuition, but they still have a few schools that charge that low. What would you say is the pathway transitioning? You've done it, transitioning from being a student to permanent residency to becoming a citizen.
So the pathway in France is also very smooth. When you come in as a student, you have to either get 2 degrees, so a master's, an undergrad and master's, or you have to live here for 5 years in order to apply for the citizenship, which is online. So you can do that via both routes, whichever one is the most convenient for you. And obviously, since you're in France, it would be nice for you to learn how to speak the language. Because if you want to get the citizenship. But if not, there are English schools, and there are schools that do courses in English. So the language is not necessarily a barrier if you just want to come, get your degree, and move.
All right, fantastic. Now, talk to us about this. You've been in France for a decade. How many people have you seen who moved to France from, different countries using the job route? They didn't come through school, they just moved through the job route.
I've not seen a lot. I've not seen a lot. Most people that I see, for example, that either Nigerians, it's higher education, so it's masters or MBA. They come for either of both. Undergrad Nigerians is quite rare because most of the undergrad programs are in French, and then Nigerians speak English. But you have a few that either are born here or that just learn how to speak French and they're able to enter through undergrad.
Okay, thank you. Now, another question I have is, let's assume you didn't learn French from a young age and you were in France and you did your master's and now you're looking for work. Would language play a very critical part in you landing a job in France?
Depends on what field you're in. If you're in a highly skilled field, they are looking
What do
for
you mean by
guys.
high skill field?
I still feel, I mean, if you're a developer, for example, you don't necessarily need to speak the language to land a job. Also, sales. I remember in the role that I'm in, I had to negotiate with someone that was in another company and who was a Nigerian. So I only got to know that I was a Nigerian through his name, but he said that he can't really speak the language, but he can understand French. And he was still able to land a negotiation role.
Okay.
So it really depends on
On
you,
this
how
skill you
outgoing you
have.
are, and the skill that you have. Yes.
Okay.
One thing that's really good is English. Since we speak English, most French companies right now, they are looking for people that can either speak French or English or both. And because if you speak both, they might not need to recruit someone else that just speaks only one language. So you can do two people's jobs,
Okay.
for example.
Fantastic. Guys, why is it that you do not subscribe to my YouTube channel? Why? I'm providing information to help you move abroad, yet I find that so many people watch my videos, but they don't subscribe to it. Yes, when I check my analytics, I see that a lot of people use my videos, but they don't subscribe. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you drop comments so that I can interact with you and I can answer your questions. Okay, what should I do? What do you want me to do before should I kneel down? Should I beg you? Should I roll on the floor? I can do it easily. All right. We're just trying to help more people. So please just subscribe to my videos. Okay, share them. Let's help more people move abroad. Thank you. Now, another thing is that a lot of people, especially people like you who live in France, when I make certain posts based on my research and from others that I've asked questions from, you see people come online and say that it's a lie. There are no jobs in France. There are no jobs at all. Don't come to France. And I never argue with them because their story might be valid. But from your end, what would you say? Would you say there are no jobs in France or some jobs, or there are actually jobs in France?
So that really depends on you. It depends on the person. It depends on how creative you want to be. How do you think out of the box? How do you make yourself shine? I mean, there's lots of candidates. For example, in my case, I had told myself that once I'm out of school, I'm not just going to do a normal traditional CV. I'm going to do a video CV, a type of trailer CV that highlights my life and post it on social media and see what happens. So that is eventually what I did, and I was able to land the cybersecurity gig. Once they watched the video CV, it was a competition to get me. The managers were fighting over who was going to get me, and that was because I was able to just distinguish myself, and just be different, in a really good way. Yeah.
Last question for you. how can people get jobs in France? Do you know of any recruitment agencies that help with jobs, or is it LinkedIn, or are there websites that you think can help if anyone is looking for jobs with sponsorship?
So LinkedIn for sure. LinkedIn. Then there are different job websites like Indeed, where you can go look for different jobs that you're looking for. But personally, what I always recommend is not necessarily going that route. Look for top companies, international companies that have established themselves here in France. And in those companies, just try to look for either the HR's contact directly online and then either cold call or cold email.
Hmm.
So reach out proactively, show how different you are, because everyone is going to go through LinkedIn, everyone is going to go through Indeed, everyone is going to go through the normal routes that people know. But you have to be different. You have to show that, okay, yes, when you're going to land that job, you're going to think differently, and because of that, that should be your strength.
Okay. Well, there you go, guys. I hope that this information has been very helpful. We have our brother here who's been in France for a decade and has bags and bags of experience. How can people reach out to you just in case they, want to chat or need assistance or anything like that?
Of course. So Instagram, ORITSEGBEMI. So at Orishegbemi.
Okay, fantastic. There you go. I hope this video has helped you in some way. Till I see you again, it's Wakawaka Doctor, and I'm signing out.